Hey group, it's Pitt, and I'm back with another MBTI video. It's been a little while. That's because things have been a little bit weird. We had some health issues around here. We got that taken care of, but then the energy's been off. It's been very weird here the last few weeks, and I've been almost physically restrained from really making videos. I haven't been able to do it. I'm jumping back into this with a long promised video that we were going to talk about INFJs. This is going to be a what type is Pitt because, spoiler alert, I am an INFJ. Uh, and we're going to talk about it uh, as we go along. But what I'm going to do is we're going to actually not go into the app, but we're going to go into the creation of the app because what I'm going to talk about today, I have not actually talked about publicly before. This is still theorem that I am working on. It is not yet solidified. It is still somewhat flexible. Uh, but we're gonna talk about it uh, to get back into where I need to be on this channel. I got led a little bit farther than I wanted, that I'm comfortable with. Like I was starting to go in a direction with the live streams that looking back at it, I'm not really sure that's the right way I was supposed to go. So we're going to go back to segments. This is going to be my first segment back. And we're going to be talking a lot more about the mental health stuff. I'm going to try my best to stay away from the more political side of things. I will still be doing reaction videos, but the main focus is going to be on the mental health part of it. Anyway, with that business being taken care of, let's type Pitt real quick. I am very much an ideas person. I focus on the overarching idea of the things all the time. I'm very much ideas. I am very much organized. I take all of the ideas and I put them into my box. My box is politics and religion. Like I have those two boxes are my two variables. I slide everything into those two boxes. All of the ideas fit into those two boxes in one way or the other. That makes me very much organized. I am very much self. I do the things that I do so that I can understand them, and then I share what I have learned with the tribe afterwards. I have extracted the knowledge that I needed from this, and now I am going forward with it. Now, there's only a certain amount of that that can be done by yourself. I can't do all of it by myself. I have not learned all of this just by reading Barron's or Young. I've read that, but I've also watched a lot of other people that have digested Barron's and Young. And I formulated my own theorem. I have changed some things. This is different from the normal MBTI. If you don't know that from my other ones, welcome to the club. This is new. This is different. I do things a little bit different. But I am very much self. I am direct. I my Me doing this channel is me working on my informative because I am not normally as informative as I am on this channel. I generally speak tersely. I do not elaborate at all on most things. Uh, so I am very much a direct person. I am very much answer your question. That is a wrap. This is me working on my informative through this channel to help explain better and to get better at being able to explain things in real life. And it works. It's working, by the way. And then finally, that was direct, self-direct, and what am I missing? See, I'm really bad at this. It's so funny that I changed things and like, where is? I should be able to get there in here. This is my SI demon. Is it here? Yeah, direct. I'm direct. Oh, control and movement. Yes, I'm very much movement. Uh, I'm quite flexible on the ideas. That is what I do. That's where the F comes in, by the way. I should have been able to reason it out, but for some reason it was just slipping my mind. Um, but it's good that I've got the coin definitions pulled up so that I can show y'all that too. Like, as a matter of fact, let's get off of me and on to the thing. We are inside of Unreal Engine 4. This is where I built the app, the Cogdebt app, that I still cannot package where someone else can open it up for some reason. I don't know why. I can open it up on other people's computers, but they cannot open it up for themselves. It's weird. But I am very much, let me get it where I can see it. I am ideas, I am organized, I am self, I am movement, and I am direct. And that would give you INFJ. This looks a little bit different than you're used to seeing. It looks a lot different than what you're used to seeing if you deal with some of the other MBTI systems on the YouTubes. But even if you've been watching my stuff, this looks different than anything that you've seen before. This is the other half that I keep talking about. Not like it's not really that complicated, but it can be that complicated. Uh, the the left half of this screen right here is what you're used to seeing. This is the ego and the downfall. This is what the ego and the shadow. This is where you live normally and where you fall. That is what most people deal with. That's what most people on the interwebs deal with. And that is what I have dealt mainly with so far. The right half of the screen, the striving and the superego here, we haven't really discussed. Um, it's a little bit more complicated, but once you come to the realization that thought, like everything else in the entirety of the universe, is a waveform, then this makes a little bit more sense. What we have here is a waveform. Your ego into the striving is a waveform, and then your ego into your downfall is a waveform. Now, how you receive the information through the waveform determines how you react to the information. So if you are focused more towards your downfall side, where you're seeing like the SI demon tricks that really mess you up, uh, like me with forgetting the directed movement just now. Like, I should not forget that. Like, it's 5 fucking steps. Why can I not remember? But uh, it happens, and it's something that I'm working on through this system. The system is helping me do that. Uh, and anyway, you receive information, and I call it the stream of consciousness here, right? So you receive this as it's like a cup, and the information's coming into the cup, and you receive most of the information on the outer extremities, uh, the NI and the SI in this particular example. And so that is where your main intake of information and your main response is going to lie for the average person on an average day in a comfortable atmosphere. And how you react to that, it depends entirely on how far you are out of balance in your stack. If you are consumed by your demon SI in this case, and you're controlled by substance abuse or sexual addictions or any of the super vices, that all of the pleasurable things can fall under an SI demon. It seems like a little bit unfair, but it's true because it is the way that I take in the sensations is what SI demon is. It is also how well you keep track of the things and do the things. So on top of the proclivity to addictions, because that is a big SI demon thing, you're also going to be prone to losing things or breaking things, and it's it's a really serious issue, but it's something that can be worked on. But it's the trade-off for the hero in I, which is the intuition that just picks up every fucking thing. Uh, Almost to the point of being a nuisance sometimes. Uh, the intuition is so high. You, you're the type of person as an INFJ that I can read the room, right? That's what you'll say that a lot. I can feel the energy. You can say that a lot, and that is all the intuition. Excuse me. We might have to take a break for a minute and come back. This is gonna be a long one. So, but seeing the patterns is what the INFJ is really good at. Uh, and the NI hero slot, they're going to be really good at seeing patterns. Uh, that is why we tend to be drawn more towards the conspiracy side of things. That is why we tend to be more anti-authoritarian, because we can see uh, with the slightest of inputs the logical outcome, and that's just how we do that. We can take in the information that, okay, well, they taught me in history that the Holocaust was a real thing, and they taught me about the Civil War, and they taught me about uh, all of these various uh, military actions throughout history, and you can look at today and be like, okay, well, I can see where this is going, right? That is your intuition working. People can woo woo it all they want. It's not really a woo woo type of thing. It's an ability. It is. Not everybody has it to the same degree, but everybody has it to a degree. That's the other thing about these. It's getting a little chilly in here. I'm starting to feel my disability kick in a little bit. I might have to go put on a jacket. Uh, but that's the thing, is that you can see the situation and the pattern of things in such a way that we tend to avoid a lot of situations that other people get themselves tangled up in, because we can see how that's going to end. I'm going to go ahead and pause this here. I will come back in just a few minutes. I need to put on a jacket. And just like that, I am back. All right. Now, regardless of the situation, NI, the hero here, the hero slot, is going to be your pivot point. Whatever function is in there is going to be your pivot point. Now we're going to talk about a little bit more complicated of a theory here, right? Now, we started with that because we're familiar with the NISI, hero and demon, but this hero and angel function here, this is more of a, when you're at work and you're enjoying your work and you are doing what you like to do in a work situation, in a very conscious of what you're doing situation, right? This flow changes. It becomes this. And that is more of a, you're using what you're aware of as your downfall. Like, you know that you're facing addiction issues. You know that other people's thoughts bother the fuck out of you. You know these things. But in this situation, when you're at work and when you're focused in that professional capacity, your thoughts swing in that way, or they should. If they don't, then you're stuck in this, and you're just that asshole at work nobody likes. This becomes your saving, right? This is you striving for the super ego, which we're going to get to in just a minute. You're using that SI, that organizational skills, to maintain your work composure correctly. That's what you do at work. At home, you're a wreck, you're a mess because you're comfortable, and you're working more in that wavelength over there. But at work, you're focused, and so you use what you know your weaknesses are to strengthen you at work. In order to help your growth, you need to take that attitude with you into your personal life, instead of just, okay, I'm off the clock, I no longer have to do this. Extend that for a little while. It is work. It is hard to do. Uh, but it is something that if you do it, it does help you with your consciousness. It does help raise your vibrational frequency in a very real manner that absolutely improves your life on all levels. Uh, Now we're going to talk about the superego here, but this is not something that you just bust into. Well, actually, it is. That's exactly what happens. Uh, this is not something that you consciously call. This is not something that you, in a normal lifestyle, will ever encounter more than once or twice in your entire life. Uh, but your entire focus, the entire focus swaps over. Uh, it is normally activated in an emergency situation. That's normally how the superego line of thinking is brought about. If you're in a car wreck, in the seconds before the car wreck, when you're assessing the situation and everything is there, you know exactly what's going on. And I'm speaking from experience here. Like when I got in my wreck, I remember every detail of that vividly. I remember the glass flying. I remember all of that vividly. That was a super ego superimposed. Like it took control, and like I was not in control of that situation at that point. That is what a superego is. That is a complete change of what you were thinking about. Now, it can be achieved through meditative practices and holistic practices from various how do you religious inputs. Like it doesn't really matter what your religious input is as much as the the sincerity of it and the actual the direction of it. Some religions are bad, they just are. They call for death in a very real way. And not just a punitive death, but like a vindicative death. You've dishonored me, you must die, is a bad thought. It just is. Sorry. Uh, so the superego you very rarely ever get into, but when you do, you're either triggered, either it's an emergency situation, or you see this with these crazy people that uh they're super triggered, right? Like they lose their fucking shit for someone else most of the time. Sometimes it's for themselves, but most of the time it's for someone else, and it's this wavelength activating with the NI as the pivot coming out this way or this way. It depends on which way it swings. If you're trying to, okay, you can actually define this in this way. Like these people who are the super Karens, right? That you're in the grocery store, March 21, or let's make it May of 21, right? And you're in the grocery store and you don't have the covering over, and the people just boop, flip their trip, and then that's the super ego triggering, but it is on the lower end of the frequency level. It is the super ego leading into the downfall, and they're like, Ree! That's what that is. Whereas if it's how dare you do this to this person, right? If it's a you see somebody being a racist asshole, and you're like, bing, and it flips, and you just do some shit that you would not normally do. You step out of your box, and you're just like, how dare you do this, whatever, to this person, right? Well, that is this part of the wavelength. You don't really have much control over that. You may want to. Now, if you can get the right balance, right, where you're just holding meditative peace, then you're pretty much focused entirely in your superego, somewhat going into your striving because the wavelength has to flow out. But you're really holding into the superego uh, part of the frequency, and it's a really hard thing to maintain. Most people that can achieve it, and most people can't, uh, simply because they don't have the will to. Like, there's no barrier stopping you from today, right now, going into meditation and achieving this. There is no barrier other than you. But until you have achieved it, you will think that it is all woo woo. And that's just truth. All right. Now, let's get into the rest of this stack real quick. Uh, so from the NI hero, right? I see all the patterns. I feel responsible for the way that everybody feels. So I see the patterns, and my first thought is always, what is everybody going to think about this? It is always. Now, I may not give a shit because I am a TI child. And TI child is like, I don't give a shit what they think about it. But I absolutely know what they're going to think about it. And that is like what everybody's going to think about it. So it's not my tribe, but everybody. It is not just people who think like me, but I know what people who don't think like me are going to think about it. Not everybody is able to do that. I'm not entirely sure where in my stack that falls through at, but like I can do that. I can be like, okay, yeah, this person, they're gonna hate this because of this reason, even though that reason's wrong. Uh, and TI Child is really gonna be uh, what I think is gonna be my holding point. Uh, you're not gonna override what I think. That is my child slot. I am gonna be as willfully stubborn in that spot as possible. And like, uh, you can come at me with actual evidence, and I will look at it because I am an SE user. I will look at your new evidence all day long, but it's way down on the stack, so it's got to be really impressive to make it up here. If you can make it up here to the NI with your new evidence, I will absolutely look at it, or I will absolutely like change the NI. It will be the new input, but you have to be able to make that the new input. Uh, any nemesis. Like, we're going to go talk about a little bit about the shadow part here, because this is where my last few weeks have really been working, y'all. I have, and it's been a rough one. Like, it really has, because I've been in a not great place these past couple of weeks. Like, between the YouTube shadow bans and actual bans and the minimal impact and reach, it's really quite annoying to me. And it's because uh, if people don't like me, I'm okay with that. I really am. Like, I'm okay if you don't agree with me. I'm okay if we don't agree. I can still be your friend and not agree with you. Now, we can't talk about certain things if you are factually wrong, but we can talk about other things. I'm okay with that. But I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, it's been really difficult for me these past couple of weeks, well, because I'm reaching like nobody, right? There has been not a lot of growth, and some of that may have to do with the live stream stuff, and some of it may have to do with the change of format, and I'm okay with that. But a lot of it has to do with the suppression. Like, people who are subscribed to me are not getting the notifications all the time of what I upload, and that's a problem. And it's because they didn't like what I said, and because they didn't like what I said, it means that I have to do one of two things. I can either change what I say, or I cannot say things. So there's my conundrum. Moving forward, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say. I'm putting this in the middle of my INFJ video because the only people who are watching at this point are people who are actually interested in the MBTI, and this is relevant, and the people who just care what the fuck's been going on the last couple of weeks. And that's my people. So I'm letting you know what's going on. I have been on the downside of my stack these last couple because of the suppression. Like, I have to be working forward to a goal. I have to. It is in my stack. This I have to give value to other people. That is what this FE and SC means. It means that I need to give value to everybody else. Uh, I need to gather the experiences for other people, and I need to give them things that make them happy. That is what I am responsible for, is making people happy. And the suppression of not being able to do what I want to do and to say what I want to say has really been bugging me. It's been bugging me a lot. And so I haven't been as diligent as I needed to be because it's really annoying. Oh, I tried the new format. I don't think the live streams are my thing. That's okay. But like, they literally cut off my streams midstream a couple of times. Uh, for words that I said that weren't even relevant to the reason why they filtered it. So it's whatever. Like, it's annoying, but my focus has to be more on the other platforms. But the audience isn't there on the other platforms. Anyway, let's go through the rest of this stack, and you'll see why this is relevant as we go through. Because I've been in this part of my stack, like, a lot. And so my NE nemesis is seeing the possibilities, right? This is the new possibilities. And it's the nemesis because you can get stuck there. You don't really see them on a very good way, but when you start to see them, you get stuck on them. You're like, oh my God, there's so many possibilities. And that's where my spiral went, because I was looking at maybe doing some t-shirts and things. And because like I have to be working towards something, right? Like, monetization is cool, but it is never going to be the thing. The thing is to have good content that I'm putting out and to have a valuable service that I can offer that you people would like to possibly buy. And I was thinking t-shirts would be a good option. And I could press the t-shirts myself. And because I could press the t-shirts myself, it could be economically viable to do it at a smaller scale. Right, that is my logic behind it. And so I started looking at the possibilities of that. And Jen helped me out a little bit. She showed me some things. And uh, I watched a lot of videos, and I really got to looking into possibilities. I'm like, well, if I'm doing that, then I could do that and sell at craft shows on the weekends. And it's like, well, that's where my spiral started, because I started looking at the possibilities. And I'm just like, shit, there's a lot of possibilities here. I'm like, there's a lot of chance to make money, and maybe I could change my situation. And I'm like, I want to change my situation. So I'm like, all right. Well, then I started looking at too many possibilities. I started looking at getting printers and looking at buying vinyls and trying to get inks and what it would take for header maintenance on the inks, and all the possibilities just started weighing and stacking and all of these things for something that's not even really happening, right? It's just something that I'm spitballing in my head. And so that leads me into, well, the YouTube thing's really not, it's not getting the traction like it was. Like, I was doing good. Like, people like my reactions. And I can understand that because I'm honest with y'all. I'm truthful. And we just watch shit and have fun with it, right? But then even that started feeling a little weird. I think I was focusing a little bit too much on trying to be on the patriotic side of things. And I am quite patriotic, and I like the music, but maybe I'm just trying to focus too much on the things that are Caesar's instead of just finding some good music and reacting to it. I don't know, but the energy felt weird there. Anyway, then the FI critic, right? It's like, how I feel is how I criticize myself behind how I feel. Like, oh, it is of lesser importance to me how I feel than how everybody else feels. And so I don't really know how I feel. And that really hit me this week too. It, I don't know how I feel most of the time. And it's a little bit weird to say that. But I ran across a video this week Tuesday, as a matter of fact. I started watching it Monday. Well, I didn't. I didn't do a video. I did a video Monday. I did my live stream Monday, and it got interrupted. And I didn't do a video Tuesday, but I ran across a psychic on Tuesday on Odyssey, and like it's really weird because I'm not subscribed to anything that would bring a psychic into my feed. But it was like this week's reading or something. I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna check it out. So I clicked on it, and it was a really relevant thing. Like this entirety of this week was a really relevant thing, up to and including doing a video today. And so, uh, it's really weird how that worked. But then that might have been the TE trickster getting to me. Uh, what other people think fucks me up. Like it doesn't really, I don't really pay attention to it. And because I don't pay attention to it, it kicks me in the ass. And so I think that this past couple of weeks has been me really stumbling from getting kicked in the ass and not realizing it, and that like just trying to catch up and get centered. And maybe I was reaching out a little bit too far in a direction I didn't need to. And then the SI demon we have talked about extensively. Oh, I really wanted to do this. I really wanted to talk about both what happened in the past couple of weeks because I've been absent. Like, and that is one of the things that INFJs do. Like, somewheres in this stack is buried all right, this is too much. It's got to be the innate nemesis because I got too much input and I withdrew. Like, I withdrew into me and I could see it happening and I couldn't do anything about it. I just withdrew. But that's the way that I process. So if I ever do disappear like this, like I'm not disappearing, unless it's the end times and shit, right? But like I do that. And it is to reassess myself, to center myself back on God where it needs to be, to get me into the center of my stack here so that I'm on this side of things and not on this side of things. And so it took me a couple of weeks to do that. And like I had a really great Christmas. Really great Christmas. Like we had family here and it was great seeing everybody. And then we went and we saw my mama and it was great seeing my mama and them. And so I had a really great Christmas. But then after Christmas, like my father-in-law got sick and he had COVID, but he wasn't sick with COVID, but he got admitted to the hospital. So he was out for a couple of days. And then my wife got sick and then my son got sick. And like, it was a whole thing. And like, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but like for me, I was trying to meet a schedule. I was trying to be here from 9 to 11 and it just was not working. Like I had to bring my dad to the doctor. I had all of these things going on. And so meeting that schedule in that way is not going to work for me. What I'm going to do is segments. I'm going to do this. We're going to talk. We're going to do the regular reactions. I will try to do some live streams, but they're not going to be like what I was trying to do. I'm not trying to be salty cracker. Like I like his stuff, but that is not my gig. My gig is just talking to y'all about whatever's relevant, and I'm cool with that. So we will talk more about this. Hopefully, I'm still working on something. Like we didn't get into a whole lot of these labels over here because this isn't quite right. Right, like the SI. I don't like the wording of angel there, but it is like it is on par with your hero talent. Like you really are functioning with your demon on a level with your hero. So you're pulling the whole vibrational frequency up. But that is a thing that you work towards. I really wanted to bring that into that because that is where we are going with the MBTI stuff from here on out. I don't know that I'll be in the app as much. We will be looking at pages like this, but it is what it is, right? Anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope that I brought a little bit of enlightenment, a little bit of fun, a little bit of an explanation. Like, I know that I don't have to explain myself to anybody, but I really feel that way. Like my FESE is a real thing. I really do feel like I am filling a need here. And because I feel like I'm filling a need here, I feel like my absence is felt even when it may not be. Uh, but I enjoy our talks. I really pray for y'all every day. Even when I wasn't here, I was praying for y'all every day. I appreciate every single minute that you were here with me. I really do. I hope that I add value to your life. I really do. Like, that is what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be divisive to anyone in any way. I want to be the reconciliation. I want to be how you help yourself like help. I want to help you fix you in the way that I helped me fix me. And that is what I am doing with this MBTI stuff. That is why I changed the MBTI stuff. Uh, I will be doing more on that. Like, when I started these videos, I was very direct, and I've gotten a little bit more informative as we've gone along. And so I'm going to redo some of the older MBTI videos where I was talking about the basics. But I needed to get this video out today. So this needed to happen. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you were here with me. This ain't the video you thought you was gonna get, but this is what I needed. So, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I am praying for you every single day. And until next time, this has been Pitt's Take. Peace.